Hello everybody, how's your day going? I want to do a little, I guess you could call it a teaching, on something that's been bothering me lately, and let's jump right into it. First I want to give Messiah's definition for eternal life. And I'll be referring to some notes, so if I look down, don't be distracted by that. In John 17:3, Yeshua said, "And this is everlasting life, that they may know you, the only true God, and Yeshua Messiah, whom you have sent." Now we have a element, it isn't everybody. It's more prevalent in the Christianity, but it's also in Messianic congregations of people that are real versed in how pagan practices work, how pagan practices, the things we've come out of, where they originated from, the history of them. And I think the commandments are fairly clear that we're not to do this. In fact, in Leviticus, where the Lord lists the types of sexual sins we're not to engage in, the sexual relationships we're not to have. When he concludes that section, he says, don't do these things because the heathen do them. He doesn't give us the origin of them. He lists what they do and says, don't do them. He doesn't go into the history of how they got there. He just says, don't do them. And I think the commandments are fairly clear. We're not to inquire how, people worship their gods. We don't need to know how we ended up in this mess, because if you follow Torah, you know how we ended up in this mess. We didn't do what it said. And one of the things I think we've done is we've got whole ministries dedicated to how did we get here? The origin of lies, how they progressed, and we don't need to do that. The commandments are clear that how we're supposed to worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And when we do that, we'll know some of the things we need to drop that, we brought over with us. We don't need to know the history of them. And Yeshua, when he said everlasting life, eternal life, is knowing his Father, and Yeshua, who the Father sent, knowing the history of paganism, Roman Catholicism, all the denominations we came up with, isn't getting to know the Father and isn't getting to know Yeshua. We'll know both their characters from the commands, the holy days that we're to study and observe. So I think we need to knock off, I know we need to knock off finding out how we got ensnared, and just free ourselves by, just like Yeshua said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And that truth, if you research it, is Torah. We don't need to know the intricacies of how a lie developed to ensnare us. We need to know the Torah. One thing I did learn in my long time in the Black Pentecostal church I was in for 26 years was they taught about counterfeit bills, how to detect a counterfeit. And there's so many counterfeits out there that the only way you learn a counterfeit is you study the genuine bill. And then you can pick up when there's a counterfeit, because there's too many counterfeits out there. You know, you have to know the genuine, and then you'll pick up what's counterfeit right away. You know, you don't study, there's too many counterfeits to study to know every counterfeit, because they'll come up with another counterfeit. So you know the genuine, you know the truth, you know the Torah, it'll make you free, and then you can spot something counterfeit right off the bat. So I think those, oh my. I don't know what happened there, but I'm done. Give you the old, oops, that's not, yeah, that is my left hand. The old left-handed salute, over and ouch. And 1 and 2 and